Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another jam-packed edition of the OverMark Podcast. It's your hosts, Dave and TJ. I'm Dave.
What's up,
He's
everybody? TJ.
TJ. I think I'm pointing the right
No,
direction.
it's always the other one.
This direction?
Correct.
Okay. I always want to point this way. I don't know. Maybe just by default, because I'm left-handed.
So,
But he's over here. I'm over here. You're over there. We're gonna be doing the thing today, and we're a little tardy in getting this episode out. I've been
it
been
has
feeling
nothing
like
to do
crap the
with the
last couple of
episode.
days.
We're tardy regardless, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But to those loyal listeners out there, sorry we're a little late this week. But yeah, your boy
We
had an
gotcha.
upset tum tum. Yep. And how's it going there, TJ?
It's all right. I just want to say we're going to give him that dose.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We'll give you your craving, your fix, some people call it. But yeah, everything's going pretty
You
good.
mean when you say dose, you don't mean dose Caros, do you?
No, I'm just talking about that dose of
Okay.
that overmark that they might need. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, we got to get that overmark fix. Yeah, that's a lot better than Dos Caros in my opinion.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Man, the random shit that we talk about. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was just gonna say it's been a pretty good week. I haven't been working too hard at work. It's been cold. I've been finding ways to get out. Like lucky enough not to have to work in it. So there's been that, and my friends are coming in town tomorrow, so there'll be that. And we got the UFC card this weekend, the first fight in over a month, which we'll be talking about later. So
Yeah.
sorry, excuse me. A lot to be excited about here on my end, and we're doing the podcast, so we'll have plenty of fun to talk about here and all that stupid shit that we always end up getting in ourselves into every week. Here
Oh
we
yeah.
are. Here we are again, huh?
Here we are. You want a spoiler alert for the fights?
Yeah.
So like, you know,
Oh, you read the script?
um back in the day when me and my homies used to be always watching UFC, it was an event, we were always going to like be making food and
Yeah.
do the thing.
Same
And
deal.
since it's kind of an event now, being that it's premiering on Paramount Plus, it's an exciting time for MMA fans everywhere, lapsed fans like myself especially, because now I can just throw on old Paramount Plus and boom, it's all right there. I'm gonna make a stromboli and
Oh,
bacon
hell yeah.
cheese fries, like I used to. Like the we'd be watching like Anderson Silva fight back in the day and make a big ass stromboli, dude. Like, you know, giant. And the bacon cheese fries. You were I'm sure my guts are gonna hate me because while I don't eat the best, I definitely am not stromboli and bacon cheese fries it up on the rag now. So it's gonna be awesome though.
Yeah.
The key to that stuff at middle age, if you're gonna eat like that, is like back in the day we'd be partying and we would eat before the event come on because does it start at 10 o'clock still or have they changed that?
So we were going to talk about that later, but yeah. So they're bumping the main cards to starting at 9 because
Fucking awesome.
they weren't doing it before because they felt like it was too early for the West Coast. Is that what California is? The very far one?
Yeah, so it'll be six
Um,
o'clock their time.
Yeah, but they were really worried about them not getting the maximum buys about that. But now that it's streaming, they don't give a fuck. So they're going to start it an hour earlier, which is cool for me because now, like, I'm tired. It doesn't matter, like,
Yep.
how jacked I am. That, like, if they have the dual main event where it's a championship fight in the co and in the main event, it's like, oh, fuck, man, I'm tired. I want to watch, but it's like, that internal clock from getting up every morning's,
Yeah,
want you to
it
go to
just beats
bed.
you down. But that was part of what I was gonna get to is you have to wait now to eat that food until the pay-per-view starts instead of eating it beforehand. Because if you eat it beforehand, you most assuredly are not making it through. I keep calling it pay-per-view. I don't know what they're gonna call it now. Premium live event. I don't know.
They're
But
calling them numbered events.
the point is if you're middle-aged and prone to falling asleep after overeating, wait to start eating until like the first fight starts. Maybe get your shit like in between the first and second fight, and then sit down and don't just stuff your face. Like start munching at it. I don't know. This is random topics of how to eat so that you don't fall asleep before the end of the show. Whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
the good thing about going to Mike's house is that he almost has no heating or like any kind of like climate control in his home. So when you go over there in the summer, it's like 120 degrees in his home, so you can't fall asleep in that. And then when you go over in the winter, it's like 35, 40 degrees inside.
I
And
mean, I'm not going to that guy's house.
well, that's
Fuck that.
well when we go now, we're getting a motel room. We don't go over to his fucking place. It's a hellhole.
Welcome to the OverMark Entertainment Podcast.
Oh,
Thanks, Tony. Huh, that's weird. But anyways, it's just.
Let's get back to that gabagool.
Oh, you want to get back to that? What the fuck? She
No,
just
that-
hung up on us.
what a bitch.
Yeah, sorry. Anyways, I'm continuing what I was saying. His house is a dump. Maybe I'll put some of his pictures of his home on here sometime. It's like maybe I'll do it on this.
Oh,
Just a
let's
couple.
let's not do that to old Mike.
Hypothetically,
that's not-
let's say if I did, it would look like a hellhole. I'm dead serious. It looks like shit, and he'll never see it. He doesn't watch the podcast. He's too busy with his life and all that. But I got to tell you, my other buddy Brandon that lives in PA, that's going to be coming with Mike. He comes down and just picks him up on the way. But anyways, he will go to Mike separate of me and all that shit, and he'll be like, I hate going over there. The cats piss all over the place, and it smells like shit. and again, there's no climate control, so it's terrible. The only time it's good to go over there is like fall and spring. But anyways, that has no point in anything that we're talking about here.
Well,
Hold
at
on.
least he's got a house, I suppose.
It does have something to do with
Yeah.
it. It does have something to do with it. So you're talking about food. So anyways, we would
There it
order
is.
pizza and wings from JJ's. I think you've seen pictures of the buffalo chicken pizza and the wings
Oh yeah.
from that shit. It's awesome. When we went in November, which is last time I went, I think probably about like the second week in November. It was fucking amazing. It's good. It was as good as ever, and I really enjoyed it. We bring a buffalo chicken pizza back home. I eat it. The core doesn't eat that shit, but yeah, it's always a good time. I'm glad they're going to be coming in, and the fights are going to be awesome. I'll break that down a little bit more here later on. Hope you guys check that out. Excuse me. I smoke on
Yeah.
that vape, so my throat's fucked up all the time.
He's got that popcorn.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hopefully not. Who knows? You're always taking the risk with something like that.
Welcome to the OverMark Entertainment Podcast.
This is the second time that you welcomed us to the podcast, Tony.
Dickhead just keeps interrupting us, man. Whatever.
I know that's kind of weird, but yeah. You've been sick all week, so I would ask you how your week was, but what are you going to break down? Feeling terrible?
Well, there was a little bit of throwing up. There was a little bit of sweating. There was a little bit of eating oatmeal and Greek yogurt, which is kind of like my new thing. I think, man, I had forgotten how much I like oatmeal, and I guess I'm slowly turning into an old person. But yeah, oatmeal is really good, and the Greek yogurt. You literally roll up into Walmart and you buy yourself the Great Value Greek yogurt, dude. It's really good, and it's under
Yeah.
$1 each. I think they're like 80 cents.
I did that at Food Lion. That you need to go there. They were like 60 some cents.
We don't have Food
69.
Lion here. It's like for value shopping, it would be like Walmart, of course, or Aldi.
Yeah,
And
Aldi.
I'm gonna check out Aldi for their yogurts. I haven't gone there for it yet, but it's something that I just started trying. So the sky's the limit. And then we got Publix. If you're going high end, I know you got Publix there. We get those pub subs. But
Yeah, it's right.
man, if we could get a Publix sponsorship on the show
We're
somehow,
going to talk about
be-
wrestling. We're going to talk about a little MMA.
Oh, God damn
We
it!
might even talk some gabagool.
Why didn't you decide to do this earlier
I don't
when
know.
we were starting?
Yeah.
You guys know.
We are going to talk about Gabagool.
Sorry, Dave. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but a little side quest here. I don't know if you guys knew. We have a third co-host, Tony Soprano. He just is too
Oh, boy.
shy for reasons. He says for legal reasons, with his garbage route that he does, he doesn't want to show his face. So but yeah, he has some kind of like narration role. He's a credited writer on the show, right? Dave?
Gabagool.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, he's a
he
credited
is.
writer, right?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. He doesn't. I never really see the guy too much.
Screw all this wrestling crap. I just want to get a little slice of my gabagool.
Oh, okay.
All this from a slice of gabagool?
Wow, he's really concerned.
Well, he just
Oh.
keeps hanging up on us.
What a dickhead. Well, get on out of here,
Excuse me while you swing braids.
Oh,
please.
wow.
Swing your braids all over.
Wow.
It's got COVID
Okay.
all over it. Don't swing your braids on me. Please don't swing your COVID all over.
Oh, well, that's something that I wasn't expecting, but I guess I won't swing my braids all over you.
Swinging my COVID.
Oh,
Watch
no.
out.
But yeah, so speaking of COVID, let's COVID our ass onto if you're ready, if you don't have anything else to talk about, with our weeks, I'm sure we'll talk about some more of that later. But
we do the intro and then we move on. So
yeah, that's a pretty
let's
good
move
point.
on.
All right, well, we're gonna move on to one of the things that we're gonna talk about. So I saw Logan Paul bringing this up the other day. He's the most recent person, and I've seen a whole bunch.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I've seen a whole bunch of other people bringing it up as well. But we're going to be talking about, should Vince McMahon come back to the WWE? Because there's people talking about it, so I figured we're going to talk about it too.
Well, short answer, no. But oh boy,
He's a fan.
Oh,
it's
thanks, Tony.
Well, I mean, proclivities aside, he had resigned in 2022 amid a whole bunch of less than stellar allegations, we'll say.
Some of them was taking a dump on somebody's head, right?
Yeah. Man. While somebody else was going to town on that person. Allegedly. I mean, this is all out there in the ether for folks to read. We're not making any of this up or taking liberties. It's
Absolutely.
This is what was stated. Alleged. I don't know, but don't sue us. I don't have any money, neither does he.
I know somebody that can afford to get sued but may not want to.
Who's that?
Well, Tony, what was your opinion on Vince and his legal complications?
Sure, it gets complicated when you're taking it up your fag ass.
Oh,
shit.
Tony. Good Lord.
Wow, what an opinion.
He's gonna get us tossed off the air. He's what a goofball.
Maybe you're a fag. You ever think about that?
No. I didn't know you brought your wife to work, Tony.
Yeah, I didn't think we did that, actually. We're going to have a discussion with HR about that.
Yeah, but
I like how that's what we're going to bring up to HR, not any of this other. Anyway, where were we?
So we were talking about how Vince returned to the board in 2023 to facilitate the sale. Remember, he was going to block it and said he wasn't going to allow a sale. So that was him strong-arming his way back in. And they were sold and merged into the TKO group, which they bought the Zuffa, which is the owner of UFC, beforehand. So they merged into one company under that TKO banner. There's Zuffa Boxing now, too. I'm sure there's more than that. So the three big brands is now branched into the whole boxing thing as well.
Real quick before we move on, can you imagine if Vince would have listened to Shane and bought UFC for like $2 million?
They probably would have fucked it up.
Yeah, it probably would have gone under by now. He wouldn't have been able to not fuck with it.
Yeah, but anyways, he became the executive chairman of TKO after the deal. But this was kind of more business-wide than creative. He wasn't showing back up all the time until I guess he did, because he did show back up before the merger a couple times on the show, but it wasn't all the time. But he was definitely putting in input, and some people think he is now. But he ended up resigning in 2024 again once the dump scandal was actually this one in 2024. That's when the dumping allegations came out, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Man, just like
John Laurinaitis.
I think do you just get so much money that like regular stuff is boring to you, so then you got to just like poop on people, or are you just a weirdo and that's why you're pooping on people? Like I don't understand, man.
Well, I can at least think of one positive.
What's that?
Nobody's got AIDS.
Right?
Well, that was not part of it, so that we can say that most likely nobody does. That's a positive. If there's any positive that we can take from this whole thing, it's that, I suppose.
I don't want to hear that word here again.
everybody's healthy. There's no alleged social diseases or anything in any of these wild goings on or accusations or happenings.
What do you mean that nobody
Good God.
nobody has?
AIDS?
Thankfully. Well, like I said, nobody had said that they did or didn't. So maybe they do, maybe they don't, but it's not alleged in the deal.
Yeah, well, it was
So probably not.
well, at least they weren't. It wasn't like all man on man. They had a little bit of mixed in there.
Yeah, there was. Man, the logistics of all of that are terrifying. Like, I don't want to participate in a threesome where there's two dudes at all. And then like for one of those dudes to be Vince McMahon or John Laurinaitis, I especially don't want to happen.
Well, here's the deal: is like Vince probably never turns off the boss thing. So could you imagine like you're in the middle of like a threesome or whatever some that you're with, and
No.
like your boss is there, and it's Vince McMahon, so he's telling you like, "Nah, buddy, you're not doing it right," or like, "No, not like that," and then he gets mad and would hold it against you professionally because you perform poorly in your like sexual encounter. It just seems like a nightmare position. But like, what do you do once you're in there? You can't like pull back because then you're fucked.
Yeah, literally.
That, man, we keep getting derailed pretty good, but yeah,
I just ugh,
Triple H is running the creative.
vile.
Triple H is running the creative these days, and a lot of people think it's better off, right? Like they've liked the direction in the show more since Vince has gone. But you do have some people saying that they would like Vince back, right? When the creative, they like his creative more.
There are eras of Vince McMahon creative that I do miss. Not so much the modern era. They like to tout that he was always so ahead of the curve that it made people say that he was out of touch. And that may have been true early on and at different periods in his career, but I think later, like, easily the 2010s onward, he was pretty much, I don't know that he knew what was what anymore in terms of making good wrestling. I mean, he had his moments, but I don't know.
Tell you what, though, he was still always on top when it came to the whole business thing and ahead of the curve because, who was the first company that was doing streaming like that?
Yeah.
Who's the first company that ditched pay-per-view and went to streaming?
I miss the WWE network.
Everybody does.
A lot.
It was a way better solution. I was so excited the day that came out, man. I remember me and my buddy Sam were sitting there waiting. It came on, and we just started watching these events and shit, and just
remember how it just worked.
Yeah,
like
it was awesome.
There wasn't all these bullshit lag
name.
fest or anything.
And,
do you know why that it just worked?
That MLB thing was based on.
Goddamn right, the MLB thing it was based on. Now, you're pretty good at this, TJ. But don't ever let anybody tell you you're not.
But anyways, you could put in a wrestler's name and it would just pop up. It was pretty cool. All the matches that they were in that were like big on the thing, and it was just a really easy, nice, simple interface. But what are we gonna do? Those days are gone now. But I think it would be a disaster for him to come back. Not only from a marketing standpoint, a business standpoint. I don't know if people would vote with their wallets, but I don't think that there's a way it could help. I think that they would get a pop, but it would people would try to cancel the company. It would be a mess. He's still in the middle of these legal allegations, and I don't think there's any way until he will be done this that would even be an option. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. We may never see Vince McMahon in WWE again. It might be one of those things where, after he passes, they put him in the Hall of Fame because he has always said he was never going to go in. So
he's probably the most important figure in wrestling, at least in modern day times. There's no argument. Like, it's him.
Easily of the last 50 years. No one could argue that, if not longer.
Yeah, he's definitely the guy that has molded wrestling into what it is today.
Yeah, if you consume modern wrestling, thank Vince McMahon. Even if you don't like
Vince.
Yep. And Tony Khan will tell you that. What wrestling do you think that Tony Khan grew up watching predominantly? It wasn't New Japan. It was WWE and WCW. You know, maybe a bit of NWA. I don't know. You know how much. Because he's a little older than me, so maybe. But I got to assume he was watching mostly the same shit that I was.
Oh, he was going to the shows back in the day.
Yeah.
He was a part of all that shit. But anyways,
Watch some Smoky Mountain.
yeah. But anyways, I no need to beat that over the head. Just generally terrible idea. Not going to happen.
Yep.
If it does happen, huge PR nightmare. And we got another one that we wanted to talk about, and I feel like a lot of people have been hitting this the past couple weeks and the last week especially. But the Royal Rumble doesn't have that good build. It doesn't feel like it was important as it used to be. I remember that speaking of events, how we were a couple minutes ago. I mean, the Rumble, like he definitely did a really good job at making the Rumble feel like a big deal. More so than now.
Yeah. Definitely. You and I were talking off air kind of just about wrestling and the Royal Rumble in general, and we talked about it, and it was like, man, when is it? And it's like, oh, it's less than 2 weeks away. And it's like, damn, really? It doesn't feel like they've really built it at all, and it doesn't feel like it's a big deal. And usually, by now a bunch of top guys have come out and declared. Obviously Cody has, and there's been a few others, but it's just like
so. There's a tag team that declared for the guys too. Some of the chicks have now, like about 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, it's just weird to be less than 2 weeks out and not have, a premiere. This is one of the big 4 premiere events, and the kickstart to the road of WrestleMania, and it just like
you remember the
minimal build and hype. I don't know. Maybe it's just us.
They used to have the cage. That was the best. You did a whole fucking episode wrapped around it, and they didn't have to pull them all out, so then you would still know that you wouldn't know the full deal, but it was like it made for really entertaining television. I feel like the declarations were bigger back in the day, when like Shawn Michaels will come back in there and say like, I have to win this because I have to end up challenging the Undertaker again at WrestleMania, and I don't care about the title. But if I have to beat him and win the Rumble to get to him and win the title or whatever, then that's what I'm going to do. These days it's just like, I want to win the Rumble. I'm joining.
And, it's, we're fast approaching them having cool people to bring back. It's getting to be slim pickings out there. No offense to any of these modern guys that are now retired, but it's not going to have the same impact as dudes from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s coming back over the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah, like Lawler's not showing up. Michael Cole's not probably jumping in. No Stone Cold, no Rock, no Taker, no Mankind. Triple H isn't jumping in. No Edge, Christian. Maybe Matt or Jeff could pop in. That might be interesting. But I mean, you remember even the Boogeyman would pop up here and there, and
hey, since we're talking the Rumble, we should scroll down and the other parts of the Rumble that we were going to talk about. We'll just get that all in one Royal Rumble segment. It's just here under the tag team and the watch along thing.
With the brackets?
No. The who do we think will be number 30 in the Rumble, and who's going to be the standout in the women's?
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that sounds great. Thanks for pointing that out. But yeah, so
Yeah.
we actually we had a couple questions that we wanted to go over here a little bit. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty disappointed. I feel like Dom, even though he's hurt, should be like really hyping it up, being there, say he's gonna win, even if he's maybe not even in it. Like, why isn't R-Truth out there acting like goofy, like I'm gonna enter the Super Bowl, or making some stupid claim? Like, why isn't the Royal Rumble the star of these shows?
Yeah, I don't know. I hope that the next episode of Raw it is, because at that point you're like 6 days from it.
It's probably my favorite gimmick pay-per-view, hands down. Nothing even comes close. It's the fucking Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it is the best gimmick match that WWE has. Multi-man gimmick match, because obviously, Hell in a Cell and things of that nature.
I still like the Royal Rumble just because the build up to. I mean, it's just there's so many guys. Like, remember the packages they used to have back in the day where they would run
Oh, yeah.
down everybody and it.
Yep. You'd get a full-on movie quality trailer about the guys and shit.
I mean, even like 2013, I remember they would do the stats breakdown, like how much weight's in the Rumble, how many people have been tossed off, the people with the most elimination. They would do the fact rundown.
The most amount of time
Yeah.
and spent
Most
in the
wins.
Rumble cumulatively,
Yeah,
things of
least
that
time.
nature. Yeah. It was Kane for a long time, most amount of time and most people eliminated. I think he might have got past,
I think it's
but
Reigns
maybe
now
not.
as the most
Maybe,
eliminated.
probably.
Either that or it's Brown Strongman.
Well, has anybody tied Steve Austin for
No.
his record amount of wins? Good. They need to keep it that way.
I know. They need to leave something with Austin. Something.
Yep.
He's the fucking man.
And none of these guys, and Ric Flair will tell you, Austin.
Yeah,
Austin's the guy.
He said it the other day. He's like, when you're talking about the best wrestler of all time, it's like it's Steve Austin. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I love Hogan. Like he's one of my best friends. But it's like when you talk about the man, he's like, it's Steve Austin.
Nobody drew like Austin in the hottest, biggest drawing period of wrestling ever.
They have
they're doing
the arguments.
they're big numbers now, but they're not.
I'll take Ric Flair's
consistently.
word for
it. Yeah, dude's on Mount Rushmore of wrestling. He could tell you.
Yeah, I literally just okay. I'll take your word for it.
Well,
I mean, we still got to do that one day. We want to give you guys our Mount Rushmore. It won't be anything crazy. We'll just have a picture of mine and Dave's and did the same fucking thing, I think. So
probably the same thing for a lot of people. Like 30 to 90.
Yeah, I'll give you a hint. Ric Flair's in there, Hulk Hogan's in there, Austin's in there, and then it's whoever the fuck you want to put after that.
Could be The Brock, could be The Undertaker, could be other people. Who knows? We'll find out then.
Absolutely.
But speaking of finding out, I got a question for you here.
Okay.
Who do you think is going to be number 30 in the Rumble this year?
I went over this over and over again, and so I'm trying to put myself in Triple H's shoes. I'm trying to think how they think, and like I feel like they're definitely saving Jericho for the Rumble, right?
Oh yeah.
I feel like he's going to come out 30. That's my guess.
I was thinking he was going to come out earlier and have a really long performance like he did the 1 year when he came back.
Nah, I feel like you show him as little as possible right now.
Yeah. He'll probably come out in like the 20s then. But if you're saying 30, okay. Excuse me. Had like a hiccup there. I went with Roman for this. Just because they tend to give him favorable positions. And this would be one of those things. He could show up, run the train on whoever's left. This is an easy putting him in the main event of WrestleMania, wrestling for the title, because I'm pretty sure they're going to have him wrestling for a title at Mania this year.
Well, I mean, it's Roman Reigns. It's
how we get to there is we're not sure yet, but yeah,
absolutely.
Well, yeah, look at our Street Fighter short with Roman. It still draws.
Yeah, it does. But one thing I wanted to say too before we're going to dive into the Rumble on next week's episode a little bit more, and we'll go over some other questions, some angles that we might see, maybe some things that we see playing out in the ring. But for now we're just doing it kind of light, and since the Rumble's next week, I feel like we'd highlight it more the week of. And that being said, who do you think's going to be the standout women's Rumble participant this year, Dave?
Well, Io Sky. It's hard for me to not say her, but who do you think?
Raquel Rodriguez. They're going to give, like we were talking earlier, she's going to be Kane this year in the Rumble.
Did you see them calling her Big Sexy on Monday? I mean, she's just
that is
going.
I didn't hear that. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're going full on Kevin Nash with her.
I
They're
mean, why wouldn't
backstage
you?
doing the Judgment Day thing, and they literally called her Big Sexy. I
Well,
was like, hell
I
yeah,
bet
dude,
you,
just lean into it.
I bet you Kevin called Hunter and was just like, "Hey man, just fucking have him start calling her Big Sexy." Like, why not?
Why not?
Yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah, it's a fucking awesome nickname.
She's straight up the woman Kevin Nash now, but she's got more than 5 moves and a hair flip, and that's not a knock on Nash. He'll tell you, hey, work smarter, not harder. I had 5 moves and a hair flip, and look at what it did for me. So,
Yes,
he's got a point.
that is true. We're definitely we're definitely looking forward to the Rumble though.
It's gonna be awesome.
It should be cool.
They
Go for it.
just
Dave.
need the better build is all. That we're looking for you to make us care more about it is all. That's all we're asking. Maybe we're getting old and jaded, and that's just how it is. But
No.
I don't think that that's the case. I think that it's just they haven't pushed it as hard this year.
The past
for
couple
whatever
Rumbles
reason.
have stank, and I'm hoping that they step it up. You got to have some surprises in there, man. You got to have some cool spots. They've lacked almost all of that, and I'm hoping that they step it up. And
Kofi usually has some kind of cool spot.
He hasn't, but I want to speak of another cool spot real quick here, and it's not going to be lacking booking, right? I think it's I think it's gonna have some good booking. And speaking of that, so this is what we had talked about last week. We got the OverMark Greatest Tag Team of All Time tournament. We're gonna be fucking showing you guys the brackets. We're gonna go over the names here. It's something that me and Dave are very much looking forward to seeing here with you guys. But yeah, so there's really not too much to go over here right now because the matches haven't really happened yet. I got my screen all small right now, Dave. So
Yeah, I can't read it either. I'm trying to scroll through and find it in our history.
No, it's in the I got it in the thing here.
I got it.
Okay, so I got it up. I got my thing at 200%. So yeah, we're gonna show you the graphic here. Me and Dave see it here ourselves. So we're gonna break this down. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit before we do go over the brackets. So this isn't who the greatest tag team is of all time, right, Dave? We want to be clear. That is not what we're picking here. We're picking a tournament that we think is booked well and has interesting twists and turns, tells a good story, has good matches, and has who we want to win. That's
Yeah. Maybe we worded it a little weirdly. Maybe we should have worded it as the greatest tag team tournament of all time.
well, maybe, but here's the thing: is it's the OverMark greatest tag team of all time. So like tournament. So I don't know. It's whatever the fuck. But we just wanted to let you guys know that. And basically, I think the rules are just single elimination. If somebody gets hurt, the team that lost, if they lost, that match continues on. And that's pretty much it. You can
basic tournament rules that you've seen on every wrestling show ever since the inception of wrestling and brackets and tournaments.
So it DQs, timeouts, submissions, pins, all that stuff. If you lose, you're out. It's pretty simple. And it's 32 teams, 16 on each side here, and whoever meets in the middle is gonna go for the OverMark belts, the tag belts.
Yep.
Why don't you start us off here, Dave? Break these down for us.
Well, we're gonna. You want me to? I'll start on. I'll do the left, and then you do the right, and we'll talk about the guys on the left, and then we'll jump to the right. How's that sound? Okay, so first of all, we've got the Outsiders versus the Judgment Day, which should be really cool. If you think about just wrestling in general, and if you could see both of these factions in their prime against each other, it would be a very cool clash. Yeah. You got anything that you would like to get in about that match?
I feel like they're if you talk about there's anybody, I mean, the NWO is the NWO. You can't compare them to anybody, but there was somebody kind of like the NWO today. I think it would be the Judgment Day, a little rebellious group in the back, but You know, there's not a lot of comparisons, but there's some. But either way, it's going to be a great match.
Yep. Then for the next one, we would have the Midnight Express versus the Usos. Real generational clash, so to speak.
High flying.
Man, you know, high flying. This would be an insane match.
One of the best you'd ever see.
Yep. You know, we could say that about most of these matchups,
Yeah.
and it's not even that we're patting ourselves on the back from a booking aspect. It's you could shoehorn basically any of these teams against each other in a match, and you would pull out at least a serviceable, if not really good match.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's just, you know. Then we got the Young Bucks versus Demolition. You know, I know that's surprising to some people, but you know, you got to get the Young Bucks in there. You can't ignore them. They are a fairly decorated modern tag team, regardless of how we may or may not feel about them. And what can you say about Demolition? That hasn't already been said. These guys are cool. When I was a kid, man, I mean, TJ will tell you too. You know, just cool gimmick, especially to kids.
Yeah, a true Clash of Styles match.
Yep. And then this next one, man, like I feel like this would be a match that wrestler, you know what I'm saying? Like how a lot of wrestlers tell you, "Oh, this is you need to watch this match, or you need to watch this match, or study this match." This would be one of those matches that people would be studying. Well, if it actually occurred.
Well, you got to think about the point of where Austin and Triple H were here. They had they had all the belts, tag and world and intercontinental, all that, and they were super big heels. They were beating the shit out of everybody. So I feel like Austin and Triple H might have a chance to bloody somebody up in this match.
Oh yeah, and you know Arn and Tully were also heels. So this is one of those rare heel versus heel matchups, but just the fact that you would have Tully and Arn versus Steve Austin and Triple H is just insane fantasy booking right there.
Yeah.
Again, not to pat ourselves on the back. You could slap any of these teams together, but just that match right there in particular.
Yeah.
You know, like I would love to watch.
Everybody talks about these dream matches today.
Yep. Well, you know, and this one's kind of a throwback to the old school. You got the Road Warriors versus the Rock and Roll Express, and a matchup that most assuredly has happened across multiple promotions.
I'm pretty sure it's happened in multiple countries. Like,
oh yeah,
a lot.
These guys would deliver.
Yeah.
There's no question. And the extracurricular activities on the outside between Paul Ellering and Jim Cornette would be fantastic.
They will be there, by the way. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, if a team has a manager historically, their manager's there, and may or may not be part of the outcome of the match. Who knows?
Yeah,
we don't even know.
Yeah,
that's who knows. But you're gonna know, and we'll let you eventually. And man, this next match is a battle of the behemoths. The Steiner brothers versus the Colossal Connection. Man, this
is one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most. This would be amazing. The Steiner brothers are physically probably the one of the most physical tag teams ever on the planet, and they're just the kind of guys to go against the Colossal Connection. Haku and Andre the Giant.
Good God. I mean, you know, good luck anybody, you know.
Exactly.
On paper, those guys could be the odds-on favorite if you just look at this. Like, who's gonna beat Haku and Andre?
Exactly. It'd be pretty tough to do it.
Good luck. Well, I guess we'll find out though.
Yeah.
Then for the next match, you know, this is one of those ones that people would love, and another really good booking one. Mega Powers versus the Dudleys.
Oh.
And it's just like, oof. You know, talk about star power. You got Hogan and Macho, and you know, no offense to the Dudleys, you know, but you know, they are big stars in their own right, but they're not Hogan and Macho. But This is a lot of 4 Hall of
Star-studded.
Famers in the ring.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, just the mega powers in general, having the chance to see them and, go against them would be something that the Dudleys would dream about. And
right?
this is a dream match here. And, I mean, there's nothing to say about this match except wow, fucking awesome.
Yep. And last but not least, for our left side brackets here, a match that I actually think is really cool is
Underrated.
FTR versus Too Cool. Yeah, this match, it might be low key underrated on these brackets when you look at how great some of these other teams are. This is one of those matches that you would go in with maybe a little less expectations, not because either of these teams is bad, just because of
They're not the mega
how
powers. They're not the Colossal
exactly
Connection.
they're not the Road Warriors or any of these
And
other
that's
guys.
okay.
But this would be a match that would deliver in the ring. And there would be moments that had you laughing. There would be moments that had you like, holy shit, this is awesome. They would take you on a complete wrestling journey in this match.
Yeah, they would. And it would be something that I would love to see. And I feel like Rikishi might be at ringside for this.
He would be. And he might be the one that has to neutralize Big Stoke,
Yeah.
Maybe he gets involved and Rikishi's not stoked on that, and maybe there might be a stink face in his future. Who knows? But the sky's the limit creatively. And speaking of the sky being the limit creatively, why don't you tell us about these other side of the brackets here?
So I feel like the right side I feel like the left side has like some of the bigger stars of yesteryear of the 80s and early 90s. It's got some of the bigger guys. Where on the right, we might have some of the smaller guys, maybe a little bit more technical, and maybe a little bit more gritty. Some tough guys that overcompensate with their toughness. But anyways, we're gonna start off on the right bracket here, and we got the Briscoe brothers versus the Funks. I mean, what's there to say about this? How I said in the Brainbusters versus Two Man Power Trip, there might be blood. Well, I think there's a pretty good chance in this match that there's going to be blood.
All 4 of them.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a pretty
All
good
4
chance.
of them are getting cut. The referee might get color in this match. Well, no,
The referee might get knocked out.
There are rules. They're not no disqualification matches, but maybe
Stuff
the referee
happens.
accidentally gets color. Who knows? But yeah, I would think there'd be a lot of color in that match. Good God.
I would think there would be too. And then the next one, fucking amazing here, the New Age Outlaws versus the New Day. Now, it's not a coincidence that their name's supposed to say new. Trust me, we thought a little bit more about this booking than just that. But, I mean, you think about this match, you think about the promos that would lead up to it. Awesome.
Would X-Pac be out there with the New Age Outlaws to kind of counteract the New Day having Big E?
No, it would be
You
China.
think? Oh, shit. Well, she
Even
was
better.
handling Mark Henry. She could definitely handle Big E. You better watch out.
Yeah, even better.
Yeah,
And then the next one here, we got Beer Money versus the Rockers.
I'm probably more hyped for this match than anybody. I was a big fan of Beer Money in their TNA run. It was just Cowboy James Storm and Bobby Roode. They did a really great job. Bobby Roode is famously on the WWE main creative team now. You'll see him on Unreal if you watch it. He's one of the guys that's on the monitors talking to Triple H and shit.
Yeah, he is.
So he's come a long way.
Yeah.
And what do you have to say about the Rockers? I mean,
what do you have to say? I mean,
it was super entertaining tag team from when I was a kid. You got Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels. So, I mean, this is going to be a pay-per-view quality match with, it's redundant to say that almost because all these matches are, but I mean, modern day fans would say that this match is going to be a banger. Modern day fans would watch this and they'd be like, oh shit. These dudes from back in the day, could go.
Yeah, they absolutely can. Speaking of guys that can go, it's the Motor City Machine Guns versus Harlem Heat. What do you think about that?
Well, I want to put an asterisk on this. because all of these teams are when they're in their prime. So we're not talking about modern WWE Motor
Yeah.
City Machine Guns. We're talking about in their prime, like 2006 to like 2014 or whenever, Motor City Machine Guns from TNA. Literally in that period, one of the best tag teams in the world, along with Beer Money. Their best of 5 matches that they had for the belts, I think it was like 2011 or something like that, holds up to this day and is one of the best of 5 series matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think
And that, go ahead.
I think Booker and Stevie might have these guys up in the air pretty fucking high when they're throwing them around.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially Big Stevie. I mean, he's a hoss, big
Yeah.
old dude. You know, look for Motor City to use their quickness and Harlem Heat to use their toughness. And I mean, they got, not that they don't have quickness, but you know, this would be another really good match.
I think it
Yeah.
absolutely would. And then we go to another really good match, the Rock and Sock Connection versus the Hart Foundation. I mean, geez, I mean, I can't even begin to think about the outrageousness that would be pulled in this match. Just the Socko would come out.
Think of the star power
Yeah.
for a second. The Rock, Mankind, Bret Hart, Jim Neidhart. I mean, that's crazy. And I'm pretty sure at one point we got at least 3 out of the 4 of those guys in the ring at the same time. I just can't remember who.
I don't know. Something
I think Hart Foundation did some kind of beatdown on Mankind or something.
That's something that we'll look into. But something else that we're going to be looking into here is going to be the Hardys versus Edge and Christian, which is a match that we've seen a whole lot of. And we thought it would just be cool to toss that in there and have, these two guys that have a lot of experience with each other. But remember, this is in their primes, which they still did have a lot of matches against each other at this point.
Yep.
I figured probably like TLC 2 would maybe be the time frame that we would be seeing both these guys, but compete against each other.
Early
here. But,
2000s, yeah.
But an awesome match, something that I'd be really looking forward to seeing with the massive stakes that are on the line in this tournament here.
And we got it in the first round. People are saying, "Oh, why would you do that in the first round?" Because
why not?
That's why.
Yeah, why not? And then
people want to see it.
Yeah, they do, and they're going to see it right off the bat. The stakes are high, but the stakes are going to be high here for the Lucha Brothers because they're going to be going against the Brothers of Destruction, which which is going to be a tall task.
The Battle of the Brothers.
Yeah, going to be an awesome match. I figure a lot of people might picture that match going the same way, but the Lucha Brothers are super tough guys, so
very decorated tag team.
Yeah, I can't wait for them to start tagging in WWE.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
Yeah, but speaking of really cool, we got the last match here. It's going to be match number 32. And it's the Freebirds versus the British Bulldogs here. This would be an amazing match. I don't know how it couldn't be. We actually, so this is something that we talked about earlier. And I think we're going to talk about it now, but they are going to be able to enact the Freebird rule, right? In the same way that the New Day will be able to enact it. So we're going to have maybe a couple different versions of these guys. Depending, we'll see. We're going to try to get creative here, and see what we can do here. But yeah, and then the British Bulldogs. What the
Dynamite Kid and the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. What look at your favorite modern wrestler of today, and almost everything that they do can be traced back to Dynamite Kid. Say what you want about his personal proclivities and things of that nature. The dude could go in the ring.
Yep.
He laid the blueprint for the modern style, and people for the last almost 50 years will tell you that he is one of the most influential in the modern style type of guys that, there is. people like to cite, and I'm about to mention the forbidden name here, Chris Benoit's style as a influence on the modern style, and it's like Chris Benoit literally just copied everything that Tommy Billington did. It's not like I don't want to take away from anything that he did in the ring because everybody knows how good he was, but he lifted a lot from Dynamite Kid, and he would have even told you, he had mentioned that many times in interviews. So I just, you know, Tommy was a top rate, super good guy in terms of his in ring.
Yeah.
Kind of not so great backstage, but whatever. We're not measuring guys in their backstage. This is just purely a tag team tournament of awesomeness, and I want to take a moment here and give us a pat on the back for our stellar booking of this first round, TJ. We don't even know who's going to win all these matches yet. Maybe we do.
We know
Maybe
a
we
couple of
don't
them,
know
but
anything.
yeah.
But
I can't wait.
yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the end here. We're not 100% on how, like on each episode, how many are going to be eliminated. We have to be a little so we do know the end date that we're going to have this. We're not going to reveal that right now. We're probably going to reveal it on the next one when the eliminations start, when the final date's going to be on this. But I think we might even go as far to like, since we're going to do this in detail, we're not going to we're going to break down the type of match, but we're not going to go like move for move. We're going to name out some, but we're going to do this OverMark style. We're actually going to have like events. We're going to name the events that they're at. They're going to be shit that we made up, but we're going to put some effort into this.
Yeah. They wrestled at like, Titan Tuesday.
Yeah.
Or some shit. Who knows? That's not an actual thing. That's just random bullshit.
Well, it's going to be OverMark style, so it's going to just shit that we stuff that we think's cool. But we hope you guys are looking forward to this. We're having fun doing it. It's going to be some exciting stuff, and I think you guys should really appreciate the ride along that we're going to be having here together.
Yeah. People always say, if you're going to be critical of booking, could you do any better? So this is us taking the reins and showing everybody what we think good booking would be of a tag team tournament.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. And like I said, please look forward to it because we're looking forward to you guys checking it out. And something that's kind of been, I think, the big talk in the wrestling world the past week or so. And this is kind of something that we talked about in the clip that we did last week. But yeah, Will Hobbs is a free agent, and they're thinking he's going to go to WWE. Dave, what do you think?
I think that's a safe bet, and he may already actually be under contract. I know his contract expired like a day or two ago. I'm fairly certain that they basically had a deal ready for him. And
is it too late to change my number 30 guess?
No, if you want to guess
I'm
him.
kidding, but that's a chance.
While we're talking about this, do we want to talk about the other thing about Hobbs, about that dumbass guy? Or do we want to do that later?
We'll do that after we're done talking about this. We'll clump it on there. But I want to talk.
Right,
I want to
cool.
break down this topic first.
Let's do it.
Okay, so anyways,
Let's get into.
Like we talked, it's been rumored that WWE has interest in Hobbs, but nobody really knew his contract went out. It's kind of funny because when these contracts run out, people kind of seem to know these days. Nobody knew about this shit beforehand. It just happened, it expired, and everybody talked about it after it happened.
Yeah.
He lost the belts, and then that's why everybody's like, oh shit, and then they put 1 and 1, 2 and 2 together, whatever it is, 1 and 1, blah blah blah. And here we go. He's definitely going to WWE. I don't know if he's going to NXT or not. I think it might be good for him just to go straight to the main roster. The guy's not a spring chicken anymore. He's like 5 years old. It's time to get him in there. He can talk a little bit. You just get him around these guys. I'm sure he's going to soak up the right knowledge, right? I mean,
oh, definitely. I mean, maybe you put him in NXT for like a month just to get used to the WWE system.
Yeah, like Stephanie, some of the other people that have done a short time lately. I mean, when you look at him, he just screams WWE.
I mean, he looks incredible. And for all these people that are going, oh, Triple K, there's about to be a whole lot of African American guys on the main roster that look incredible, can work great, and you know, we what the hell is his name? Lemon Pepper Steppers. Why is it escaping me?
Oh, it's funny because we got a thing about Trick Williams.
Trick Williams, man, he is super over.
Yeah.
We got Javon Evans. Oba Femi is coming up.
Yeah, Bianca's coming back. Naomi will be back.
Oba is gonna be insane on the main roster. That dude is a beast. You know, I don't even know how they can book him because he's such a hoss. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
got to just have him up there murking everybody.
They'll figure out a way.
You know what I'm really looking forward to before we move on
What's that?
is him and Breaker.
Yeah, that'll be pretty nice. But here's some of the things that I wanted to bring up about this. So you look into like him leaving AEW, and it's like, they haven't done a lot with him. I think he held the TNT or TBS, whatever it is, title once.
Yep.
They kind of had push or like start stop pushes for him. He was with QT Marshall for a little bit, and then he was with like Samoa Joe for a bit. He just never really.
I
had
feel like the
anything
one
consistent.
time they were gonna push him well, it was when he got hurt.
Yeah, that is true. But I mean, he never had one promo that stood out. He had maybe a couple good matches, and he was a part of like some pretty good multi-man matches. But overall, it just hasn't clicked for him in AEW, and I feel like he can be a star in WWE.
He's probably gonna need a mouthpiece at first.
Why not? I mean, maybe at some point
Maybe
Heyman could grab him.
Throw him in the Vision or something.
No, Heyman betrays him with him or something like that. That's the
Oh.
guy he moves on to.
He always betrays and moves on. That's true.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. It'll be nice. He hasn't been realized to his full potential in AEW, so it'll be nice to maybe see that happen. He seems like a pretty talented young man, so I'm looking forward to that. But we got something else that we're going to talk about here and related to Will Hobbs. So we're going to have a new segment here, and it's going to be called the Certified Mark Nominee. We're going to combine these, and anytime we see somebody that has said the stupidest shit that we see, we might toss it in this little segment, and we're going to put them in a list, and then at the end when we do an awards, we're going to pick the biggest certified mark of the year.
Oh boy.
This
And for context, Mark in this context is not good.
Yes.
Unlike Mark in our name, which is good.
Yes.
Just for clarification.
That is true. But today's certified Mark nominee is Sean Moon on the Jobber Tears Network group on Facebook. So he declared that Hobbs destroyed his career and future for leaving WWE and treated it like a real-life betrayal instead of a wrestling business decision. What do you think about that, Dave? Why are we saying that he's a mark for this?
Mark. I mean, like, he's being a complete AEW homer. He's not able to be objective and look at this like an actual business, which is what it is, which there's a lot of people that are unable to see that for some reason. And I mean, the guy just in general kind of comes off like a dumb fuck. Fuck you, Sean Moon. Fucking Jobber Tears is a accurate description for this network because this guy's a fucking jobber and he's crying his eyes out.
To say that this guy destroyed his career is a complete joke. He's going to sell more merch in one night or in a week probably than he has in his whole AEW career. And I promise you, he's going to be used better in one night than he has been in his entire AEW career. Super talented guy. And I just don't know how you could say that. That's like saying that somebody's playing Canadian football and they're going to the NFL and that they fumble because he betrayed your team or something like that. You're a fucking idiot. And you betrayed your senses and use your emotions instead of rational thought. That sound about right?
I mean, it sounds exactly right, and it sounds like a lot of other things that go on around the world beyond just wrestling. But we're not that podcast, so we're not going to talk about that. Although maybe if we did, we might get more viewers. But anyway,
yeah.
Good Lord.
So we can move on from that. Why don't you take us into this next one here? Are you set up on it? The Triple H on these fan critics telling everybody to fuck off?
Yep. Uh, oh well, I we had the watch along, or are we doing that?
No, we're not doing 2 watch-alongs. We're just doing the watch-along with old
Well, that's
Taker.
what I thought was next. We just talked about Hobbs.
You're fucking right. You're the man. Thanks for catching that.
That's okay. I almost forgot too, and I was gonna go move on here, and then I was like, wait a minute, we had this other thing.
I could probably
So
cut that little part out, and then we'll just jump straight to. But yeah, so go ahead.
fuck it, leave it in. We can
All
look
right.
stupid. It doesn't matter.
Cool.
I think it makes it better, warts and all. It's like listening to a recording of your favorite band from like the 70s or
And
80s.
they
You
leave
know,
the shit in.
you might hear like a little imperfection in the recording, but they left it in due to they either couldn't edit it out, couldn't afford to edit it out, or just the technology wasn't there yet, and it
Yep.
wasn't like Pro Tools where you just copy and cut the shit out, boom, gone. But we're gonna do a little watch along here with Undertaker and Bruce Prichard discussing a little bit about the Montreal Screwjob and maybe a little bit of surprising revelation here.
Yeah. So we think it's kind of significant because I don't think anybody knew that Taker knew about the Montreal Screwjob before it happened. There's a small list of people that people think were on that list, and nobody had Taker on that list, right?
Right. I mean, the entire time that we've been told this story forever, that was never brought up, and he seemingly kind of confirms it here in the video, which we'll show you here in just a second.
Yeah, we will. So we're gonna start watching here, and so you can watch along with us in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, man, that was bad.
What happened?
Huh?
He was mad at me.
You ever heard Montreal
Mm-mm.
Screwjob? Maybe?
Oh, that much. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Yeah.
that's the story we could tell actually, because there are two sides.
It's been told.
Like
a lot.
Bruce is like
okay, but not
just
not,
gigantic.
Okay, there's different sides. To
Good
this.
for him, though, man. He's living well.
Montreal.
Look at them socks.
Here we
Brett
go.
versus Sean. Survivor Series.
Yeah,
You were off TV,
I was.
but you were there.
I was there.
So what do you do when you're there? Sit next to me at Gorilla.
Yeah.
All night.
I like their little screen divider that they have. It's like ours.
Last match, Sean versus Brett. We're doing we did these walk shots all backstage, which we didn't do a lot of back then, but we do them for special matches. I tell him, hey, you need to leave because we're going to do this shot. Once I get in the ring, we're good.
I needed to leave.
So he leaves. He doesn't come back.
I needed to leave.
So everything takes place out in the ring. I'm there sitting duck. Just I don't know what's going on. Watch everything happen. Did not know.
You didn't know.
Okay. Oh, I'm getting to you, big boy. And everything happens, and I'm pissed because I don't know.
Right.
Everybody comes back, and I'm walking back, and I go back towards where Vince's office is. And there's a giant red-headed basketball player with his arms crossed, staring daggers at me. And I look at him, and he looks at me, and I'm like going, you knew.
I didn't know.
Look,
Okay.
here it is right here. Look
And
at
you
Taker.
Look at me, and he looks at me.
Look at
and
Taker's
he
head.
looks at me,
He does a
and
small little like shaking
"You
head
knew."
knowledge that
and
he
you
knew.
sent me away. And I'm looking at him going like, you knew, and you're
Yeah.
guarding Vince's office.
Look,
Big boy.
look right here.
Yes.
Yep, right there.
Oh.
He just
Yeah,
So there were
Just
two sides. to
go
it.
ahead.
Okay.
that's it. He just shook his
I
head.
know.
Yeah.
I did not.
Yep. It's like
100%
motherfuck, dude.
At all.
He literally just shook his head yes, like very nonchalantly confirming it, and it's like,
He confirmed it. I mean, literally, he just shook his head up and down, man. I mean,
yeah,
he definitely knew. And it's funny though because all these channels they run out of content. They're doing the same stuff we do. They come up with content and they go through these podcasts and then they pull and pick apart every single little quotable thing. Nobody has picked this up yet, and we just find that to be fucking nuts. I mean, when you think about it, it makes sense because all the stories back in the day, every single one has him being there, and it has him being outside of Vince's office, right? So, I mean, when you think about it, why else would he be sitting there? It's funny, Bruce is just like, you knew. And he knew.
Yeah. So to me, in my eyes, it looks like Undertaker shaking his head right there, like confirming that, yeah, basically saying yes without saying yes, like in the, like just slipping it in their fashion. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I can't believe that this isn't being talked about more. I haven't seen any shows bring this up at all. And I mean, like, this is kind of a crazy revelation. I don't know how else to quantify it. Like, you were in Discord with me when I was watching this. Remember, I was like, "Holy shit, TJ!" Like, and I was telling you about it, and then I sent it over to you, and it's just,
Yeah.
I was floored.
Yeah.
And
I was too. It's pretty amazing. And it's just awesome that wrestling podcast make it so we find out all these stories and these little like parts of them that we would have never figured out if these podcasts didn't exist, right?
Right.
I think it's awesome. I'm a huge fan of it, and I'm sure that we'll find out some more people throughout the years have also figured this whole thing out. But that being said, we can go ahead and move on here, and we can talk about what we were going to talk about before I skip the shit. And that is Triple H on fan critics and telling them to fuck off. That's some pretty interesting stuff, don't you think, Dave?
Yeah, and he's not wrong. Sometimes people do need to fuck off, and they need to be told to fuck off, and that just is what it is. But in an interview with old Peter Rosenberg on the WWE YouTube, Triple H addressed the online criticism that they've been facing. And he said, paraphrasing, that he wishes that he could tell critics to fuck off and be a fan. He compared it to movies. Watching as a fan is a normal experience, or watching it as a critic means that you watch it differently and it kind of ruins it for you. I understand that point. Sometimes I wish I could shut the ability to watch things critically off and just watch them for the sake of watching them and enjoying them. There is something to be said for that. Because I do find that if you just watch something for the sake of watching it, you're not trying to have any sort of critical eye, that you definitely can enjoy things more. It's like if you read a bunch of reviews about something before you see it, it kind of taints, you go in with preconceived notions as opposed to going in clear and fresh and being like, oh, I did enjoy that. And then later you read online like, oh, everybody hated this movie. It's like, weird. Everybody hated this. I had a good time. Same kind of idea. What do you think of all that?
Well, he's definitely right. When you look at a show critically, it's easier to pick it apart. But when a show sucks, and SmackDown sucks a lot. And there was a lot of shitty Raws last year too. So, when a product sucks, you can't tell people just to fuck off and to not watch it and just to sit back and be a fan, There's a certain time when it's like we've sat back and we watched enough shitty wrestling our entire life, and we watch enough good wrestling to know like, hey, this wasn't the best show. And, and if me and you were watching any show, like what show do you watch for 30, 40 years? They don't exist. Every show that you watch has a couple seasons. If it has a lot, maybe it's got 12, but they don't last this long. And after a while, you become critical, you're just a seasoned viewer, and, you're the top product. You're the smart product. There was a time where you rewarded fans for watching. There was long-term shit going on. Something would happen that would pay off from 3 months ago, and that does happen here and there, but I wish there were more of it. And, they obviously need to get younger, different perspectives into that show that can mold non-wrestling tropes and storytelling with wrestling. And that's when WWE has statistically and will do good again.
Yep. That's true. Well, and then after the backlash, he was on Pat McAfee, and he basically doubled down by telling everybody you ruin it by over critiquing. So it just, he he's not trying to hear it, So maybe just cut him a break. I don't know.
Cut us a break. You're a millionaire, bud. You know? I don't think he...
That's true.
I don't know. I understand. When you're in his position, you hear a lot of people bitching. But, I think it's a good thing. And I think you take all of it...
It means people care.
Yeah, well, you take it for what it is, and just, if you can learn from it, and use it to put out a better product, because, there's always room for improvement. Even when you're doing great, there's you could be doing better. But speaking...
Well, you...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, after you, sir, I insist.
I was just going to fucking move on.
So was I.
Okay, well, we got a report here. And so you know how SmackDown just moved from... It did 2 hours. It went from 3 hours to 2 hours last year. And now it's back from 2 to 3. Well, they're saying that the move from 2 to 3 may not be permanent, which I hope so, because the 3-hour SmackDowns drag.
2-hour SmackDown was hard to watch until they start mixing the roster, and then you get a good episode, but it's just... Anybody that's listened to us for any amount of time will know that, we weren't a fan of the 3-hour SmackDowns.
Yeah.
We praised the shit out of it when it moved from 3 hours to 2 hours in the summer of last year, and we're looking at potentially the same thing. For whatever reason, this time of year, USA wants that 3 hours. I think it most likely has to do with selling ads and just, certain time of the year or something. I don't know. People that work in the television industry figure that shit out, not me. But here's hoping it goes back to 2 instead of 3. Fuck.
So I haven't watched it, but I've seen clips, and the lead SmackDown creative is Brian James, Road Dogg, and he's sitting there, and they're like, Triple H is asking him questions like, well, how's this thinking, and how's this doing that, and he's like, I don't know. He just seems like a mess, and he's not the guy for the job. He sucked back in the day. Why's he doing it again?
I don't know.
He's just his buddy.
Yep.
I guess he thought he was qualified. When you go to sign up a job, they're like, must have so over many years of SmackDown creative experience. I guess he had the fucking amount of required years.
Really well. Yep. Oh, good Lord.
On a somewhat related note, too, there's another report that's saying that WWE reduced the amount of ads from 12 to 10 on Raw, which I didn't notice, but I'm not counting the ads. But does that mean that we're getting longer ones, or is there actually reduced ad time?
My understanding of the way that I read this was they were going from 12 ad breaks to 10 ad breaks, and that we were going to get slightly more wrestling, because commercials are 30 seconds. They just are what they are.
Yeah.
So like maybe, we might get an extra commercial in some of these ad breaks or something to equalize it out. I don't know, but they're going to be breaking away from the show 2 less times. Whether or not that equates to more actual wrestling product on the TV for more time, or the same amount of commercial time just, filled up in 10 breaks instead of 12, is yet to be determined, and we'll see soon, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying Raw. It's been doing good.
The pacing has been really well, and I mean, it has the luxury of having the best people in the company pretty much on that show. So,
yeah, you were definitely right about that. Take us into the next one.
Well, we got a couple of images that we're going to react to here. This isn't a thing that we've done before, but we saw some shit that looked cool.
Yeah, we'll toss them up.
And we thought that we would talk about it. And this first image here was actually, in my mind, a candidate for the certified Mark nominee.
Oh, he's going to be on before the end of the year.
Old Sean Moon got it here, and it's Tony Khan accepting this what was it, Fightful Award,
Select Booker of the Year.
Good God!
I'm not saying he's not the Booker of the Year, by the way.
No, but you messaged me something earlier, and it was, can you imagine Vince McMahon doing this? And I messaged you back, no, Vince McMahon wouldn't acknowledge that this even exists.
Yeah.
Like,
what the fuck is this Fightful Select? Who is that? Are they giving us money? Fuck off, pal.
Yeah, fuck off, pal. Exactly. Literally, I was just about to say that. You ripped the words out of my mouth. So,
I think they should be touting their awards, but like, you're a grown man. You look like a fucking goof. It's just some fucking lowly wrestling journal. Like, it's not even like a big website. It's a fucking Fightful Select. That's nothing.
that's a Patreon.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I like the guys there. I do support their content, and I do check it out. So I'm not trying to shit on them. I'm mainly just kind of saying, like, I feel like if we put our awards out and Tony was at the top of it, he would be touting it, and we're nothing. We're the lowest of, we're not the lowest of the low, but we're down there, you know.
We should perform an experiment and give him an award and see if he puts it over.
Hey, we're gonna blow up this year, and next year, if he earns it, we'll give it to him, and then he'll tout it. How about that?
That's right. Maybe Tony.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we'll see. We're not unfair. If he does a good job, we'll give it to him. But I just think it's funny, man. It's like
I can give him an award that comfortably for 2025 without even having to look it up, and I can say most friendly booker of the year.
Yeah, I think that's a definite truth. But if we were doing this and we had the certified Mark of the Year award when this happened, when they did the Punk footage, he would have gotten it that year for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. You made your show pop a number. You made him over in two companies at the same time. It wasn't. It didn't have the effect that he hoped it would have. I don't think.
No, but either way, he just looks like a grown man child here. And I want to move on to an even fucking awesomer picture here. And this is a picture of double-fisted shot Undertaker with Dennis Rodman got a shot. You got Ric Flair with a shot. And who's behind him? I don't know who the fuck that is.
I don't know.
But that's three guys I'd like.
That's some Mark.
I was telling Dave I'd like to be on the other side of those guys bullshitting in that group. Could you imagine that?
That's a hell of a time right there. I mean, that's like a Mount Rushmore of entertainment. I know we keep referencing Mount Rushmore this episode, but yeah, I mean, like, you got Ric Flair, you got Undertaker, you got Dennis Rodman. Like, that's a party right there. All three of those guys know how to tear down, and even at the ages that they are now, probably could out party most of us.
I think it's a pretty safe bet. I mean, Rick over there himself could out-party both of us for sure. Dennis Rodman, I mean, and you got Taker, who looks like he's absolutely fried. He looks shot.
His eyes are all red. I love when you sent me the picture. The first thing I saw was that he had two drinks stacked on top of each other. I was like, yo, Taker's got two drinks in his hand.
Yeah, he's
You're like, yeah, he
up.
does. Hell yeah. That's like, I feel like he could be my uncle, like Uncle Mark there with his two drinks.
Yeah, he's the man though. I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's fucking awesome. Not too much more to say about that than just be a legendary legendary group to bullshit with. And
Insane hangs.
And that being said, I'm gonna jump us into this. I'm not gonna try to be too technical on this, but I'm gonna hype this up, okay? I'm gonna hype it up. I'm gonna try to do a promo here. But there will be some technical stuff that I am going to run down. So we talked about this earlier. We're back. UFC 324, right? This Saturday. Yep.
Yeah. Exciting.
This is the that shit was loud. This is the official OverMark preview here. So we're going to go over the main card, and that's going to be on Paramount Plus. For the first time, we're going to see a UFC numbered event that is not a pay-per-view. So get ready, guys, because we got a big one here. So we got the interim weight title here. That's going to be 155 pounds, Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. Man,
shit.
Yeah, super exciting fight. Any Gaethje fights, pretty good shit. And Pimblett's like one of the new exciting upcoming guys. They both have amazing records. Gaethje with 26-5 and Pimblett at 23-3. Gaethje's a pressure brawler. He can wrestle, but he chooses not to. And Pimblett is a jiu-jitsu grappler finisher, but he has some decent stand-up too. It seems like any time that Gaethje goes against somebody that can take him down, he loses. that is what I predict it's going to happen in this fight. Is Patty will submit him. But if Justin actually fought well and like used his brain and defended the takedown and fought from a distance and wore this guy down with leg kicks, he could win. But I just don't see him doing it.
Nah. You know, it's funny. I didn't even realize this was on this card here. I mean, I as a lapsed fan, I know who both of these guys are, and I can tell you other lapsed fans that this is going to be one of the ones to watch for me, and these guys will be exciting.
Well, I'm not a big fan of WMMA, and that was the co-main event, and that got canceled. And it's kind of a bummer, though, because two of the only chicks worth watching in WMMA, Amanda Nunes, who's the greatest female WMMA fighter of all time, and Kayla Harrison, who was working her way towards that, were going to fight. And it got canceled because Kayla injured her neck, so they put Sean O'Malley and Song Yadong up. Sean O'Malley is a former 135-pound champion. He had one defense of the belt. He's had 2-fight losing streak. He lost, and they gave him an immediate rematch after his first loss, even though he didn't deserve it. So he could lose this match. I don't think he will, but there's a very good chance that he will. Song Yadong's super talented. He's getting better every time he gets in there anymore. And he's a pretty good grappler, and that seems to be what Sean O'Malley lacks. So there's a world where he could lose. But I think it's only going to be 3 rounds, and Sean O'Malley should be able to keep him off of him for 3 rounds.
Sean O'Malley has a better record than what I thought.
He's a great striker, and that's primarily what they've given him.
Yeah.
Favorable striking, but he's a great fighter. He just lacks.
He's been doing it for a while.
He lacks the grappling. He's trying to get there, but when you haven't done it, it's tough to catch up. But the third fight here is Walter Cortez Acosta, who's an up-and-coming heavyweight with a record of 16-2 versus Derek Lewis with a record of 29-12 with 1 no contest. Derek Lewis holds the finish, I think it's the most knockouts. It might be the most finishes, but he's got like 16 knockouts. I don't know. He's got the most knockouts in UFC history. I know that. But Cortez Acosta.
The balls was hot.
Cortez Acosta should win. He's the favorite, -303. He's a way more precise striker, way faster, younger. He's pretty much better in every aspect. But, all it takes is that one bomb, right?
Yep. And he can land and has landed it in the past. So, I mean, look for him to be head hunting.
Yeah, that very well could be the case. He looks like he's in great shape, but this happened before and he's let us down. But who knows? It's
going to be a banger. They're going to be throwing.
It's men's heavyweight in the UFC. Fucking anything could happen.
Yeah.
And then we got women's flyweight here. Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. Rose is a former 115-pound champion. I think it is twice.
Yep.
This is a 125-pound fight though. I think she's coming off a loss. She was on a 2-fight win streak before this. But yeah, Natalia Silva's pretty good. Everybody's thinking that Natalia's going to win, and she probably will. Rose is a little bit over the hill, and she's very inconsistent. When she's on, but she hasn't been on in about 3 years.
You know what? She is going to be on after some of these fights.
What's that?
OnlyFans, like a lot of these other chicks.
I don't know. Pat Barry groomed her pretty good. That's all I know.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's right.
Look that up, guys. You want to hear?
Oh no, that's way real.
You want to hear of a sick fuck? Look up Pat Barry and Rose, and when they first kind of started hanging out, and some other really interesting facts that you guys might like. But let's move on. The first fight on the main card here, we got Arnold Allen of a record of 20-3 versus John Silva. Arnold Allen just beat Rainier de Radier, who Rainier de Radier just beat Bo Nickel, who was like the big upcoming prospect at middleweight. So everybody was thinking de Radier was the big prospect, and then Arnold Allen beat him. So now Arnold Allen is the upcoming prospect guy. John Silva is lost his first fight in the UFC against Diego Lopez, and he's like an all-out, pressure, fast, tries to take the guy out quick. Everybody's thinking John Silva's going to win, but I don't think he's going to. I think we're in for an upset here. I think Arnold Allen's got the better wrestling. I think he's tougher, and I think he can outlast John Silva. That's the...
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't know anything about these guys.
Trust me, you will. It's going to be that might be the best fight of the
We're to the
card.
point now in the card where my lapsed fanness is kicking in.
Well, that's okay. I think it's awesome because we get both perspectives here, and then you're gonna watch this stuff and you're gonna grow knowledge of it, and then it'll be amazing. I think it'll be.
It will be.
I think it'll be really fun, because most of the time people have just one perspective of two people acting like they're experts. Where I'm not even an expert. I've just been watching for a long time, and it's one of my hobbies. That's all. I got a lot of hobbies, but
One of the cool things about this is some of the other homies are gonna watch this. Like we're gonna probably be hanging out in Discord. Like I know you'll be hanging out with your friends, which is awesome. But like Brandon's gonna watch it, Tim's gonna watch it. Other people turn. Like randomly, a lot of times when events like this are happening, like dudes that haven't been around for months will turn up. And they're like, "Oh, remember when we watched the fights a few months ago? I was popping in to see if you guys were this time."
Yep.
Like when we watch the Tyson shit and just stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always cool. You never know who's gonna pop in.
So from this point on, I'm going to be bringing up the prelim fights that I think are worth talking about. I'm not going to bring up all of them. So the first one I think we got talking about is Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davison Figueiredo. Davison Figueiredo is a former 125-pound champion. This fight is at 135. Umar's only lost to Merab. He has one loss. I think Umar might be the best 135er in the world. That's Khabib's cousin. He's young, and they threw him in too quick, and he ended up breaking his hand in that fight. Either way, it didn't go his way. It was super close, but he's got 2 fights, I think, since then that he's won. Or maybe this is the second or third. I don't know. But either way, Davison Figueiredo is really good, but Umar's going to take him out. Umar's like a fucking... I don't know if I have the betting odds here for this one. I don't, but Umar's like a huge favorite, like real big.
These guys are like pit bulls. These Nurmagomedovs, like
Yeah. There's some pretty talented guys. And then we got Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez. That should be a great fight. Alexander Hernandez should take him out. Michael Johnson's a longtime UFC lightweight. Pretty talented guy, but he's towards the end.
Yep.
And then we got flyweight 125, Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. I've seen both of these guys fight. They're both kind of grapplers. It should be a good fight. We'll see. I'm not like crazy fans of either one of them, but I think that's one of the fights that I picked because I thought it would be a good fight. But yeah, anyways, like we said, it's starting an hour earlier. The early prelims start at 5 p.m. So that's going to be early. Wow. Yeah, they got a lot of shit going on. They always do. And then the prelims that start that aren't the early ones, the second set of them are 7 p.m. And then the main card starts at 9. That'll be on Paramount Plus. So all you literally got to do is subscribe. You don't have to buy the pay-per-view anymore. It's going to be awesome. We're looking forward to it. I've been talking about this day for a long time since they announced this deal, and I couldn't be more excited.
There's a lot to be excited about. Like I was saying before, even if you're a lapsed fan like me, there's never been a better time to get back into it than right now. The ease of being able to consume it and the price is, it's probably never going to be better than it is for this current deal. Yeah. In the history of UFC, there has never been a deal this good to be able to consume all of their content.
It's always spread out, and the pay-per-views are the big cost.
This is like how we were putting over the WWE network. This is the closest thing that the yep.
Or maybe this is
going to be great.
Maybe this is closer to Peacock, but not even that, because it was still spread out with Peacock. You're right, WWE network. It's just not their own network. They're just on Paramount, but.
Right, but I mean, this is going to be one-stop shopping. Like
yep.
Their catalog's going to be on there, so it's great.
It's already on there. I don't think 100%, but almost all of it is now.
So, yeah, I mean, it'll go up in phases, I'm sure, as they.
But if you want to watch
do whatever
fights,
they got to do,
they're on there. If you want to watch the fights of any of the people that we just went over, you can go ahead and watch those. Watch Paddy Pimblett's last one against Michael Chandler. It was awesome. It was a great fight. If you want to watch a really technical one, you want to see Umar Nurmagomedov fight, watch his last one against Mario Batista. Super technical fight against 2 of the best 135ers on the planet. I could go on and on going against all these fights. But Watch Waldo Acosta's last fight. I think it was like a round 1 knockout. Sean O'Malley, he lost his last 2. And then Gaethje, his fights are always entertaining. Watch any single Gaethje fight. You will not be disappointed. It will not be a waste of your time. If you don't like MMA and you just like watching people get the fuck beat out of them or knocked out, watch a Gaethje fight. They're almost always a finish. Super awesome fights. And yeah, that's about it for my promos. We're really looking forward to you guys getting into this. If you're a new fan, talk to us about it. You looking forward to this? You excited? What's going on? We're happy to hear from you.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing, TJ. When is all this going down?
Well, this is going down Saturday, January. What's the exact date there? Let me pull up my.
The 24th.
I thought it was. I thought I might have been messing up because it's 3/24, but January 3/24 on January 24th. Easy to remember. That's the day after my sister's, my mom's, and my grandmother's birthday. They were all born January 23rd.
That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't it? I've never heard of anything like that ever in my life.
No.
But yeah, so I'll be celebrating. As anybody might know, they're all actually not with us anymore. So I'm going to be celebrating their lives and what they meant to me in spirit with my buddies. So it's kind of like cool that they're coming up too, because they were also from Maryland. So this isn't anything that I'm telling anybody else, and it's kind of not 100% really what's going on. But I'm just saying, I'm sure I'll think about them and keep them in my spirits and have good thoughts going on all weekend, right?
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Positive thoughts and a nice weekend. Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, what else you gonna do? You can sit there and be a negative Nancy about life, or you can just try to pick out the positives, right?
That's right. Glass half full always, even though sometimes it sucks.
Oh,
but that's just life.
Yeah, life can be tough. And thinking of tough, take a song.
Well, speaking of tough, Nick Diaz is married and he's been sober for a year, and he just got out of rehab. So, anybody that's listened to us for a while here knows that TJ and I are both huge fans of Nick and Nate Diaz. Me more so Nick than Nate. Not that there's anything wrong with Nate. I just
Same here.
I love the shit out of Nick Diaz, man. We did the watch along of the Daily fight, and that's one of my favorite fights of all time. Nick Diaz is the man. It's good to see him doing well. Not that we ever want to see anybody do bad in life, but it just, Nick had a rough patch there, and he's doing pretty well. And yeah. You got anything that you'd like to add there, TJ, or do you want to tell us about his recent Instagram post?
So I'll do that in a second, but just to update anybody, Nick hasn't been doing well for a couple years, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he got into meth, and he was having some problems, and his relationships were struggling, business-wise he was struggling, but it seems like he's righting the ship, and I'm happy for him. I support the guy in whatever he wants to do. He's always been an inspiring figure to me, just because he grew up with a lot of problems and he rose above it and he became a millionaire. And it's when all odds are against somebody growing up and they rise above it and become a successful person, I think that's something worth celebrating and something that we can all learn from.
I agree.
Speaking of that, there was a thing that I saw today, and I had to update this. Because it pertains to what we were talking about in this. Sorry, I had to put this down. We're going to put this picture up, but Nick Diaz put an Instagram post up today, and here goes my dogs. Amazon just dropped off a package, but so we'll put the image up. But Nick's basically saying in this post that to everyone talking about my life and how they want to control me, you will never again. I was locked up for over a year, and the ones I thought closest to me kept me there for their own motives. That old man who keeps claiming to have my best interest and is a spokesman for my family should be discredited. Everything he says is bullshit, and I don't want to hear it anymore from something, blah, 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 blah. He's basically saying don't trust anybody. And then at one point, this is what I want to go to, for my brother Nate. I don't know what his issue is, but you need to cut the shit talkers in your group to keep it real. They are embarrassing to be around. Everyone enjoy your lives, be positive, and everyone enjoy your freedom. But he's basically saying that he got out of all that stuff. People screwed him over. He rose above it, and he feels like his brother's going down the wrong path.
That sounds fairly accurate, and we're hoping the best for both of these guys. And man, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. I hope that Nick's gonna keep doing good, keep staying on top, because he's the man, and I wish nothing but the best for him. What about you, Dave? Is that about it?
Yes. Sorry, I spaced out there. I don't know what was going on with my brain. It was like I had a shutdown. The Windows XP sound.
Yeah, I do.
Yep, that's what my brain was doing there. I don't know.
So I forgot the Dreamcast. I'm gonna go grab it real quick. Okay.
Okay. Well, while he's doing that, I'll tell everybody kind of what we're going to be doing here. Let's see here. First, though,
We're gaped.
oh, that was the wrong one. Oh man, when TJ comes back later and edits that, that's going to be great. But we're jumping into the Channel 3 gaming segment today. And for today's segment, we're going to be doing a best console launch game lineup. So, basically we're going back in time and we're looking at the different launches that occurred, and we kind of picked our personal favorite console launch game lineups. Maybe we really like the console and the games that came with it. Maybe I don't know, we definitely do. I don't know. That's a stupid thing to say. But yeah. So we'll be talking about the consoles, and as you know, obviously, TJ already mentioned one of them. He was going downstairs to get it. So yeah, I was just telling everybody that we are doing a best console launch game lineup type of situation here, and you went down there and got your thing, and we're going to be talking the things. So why don't you tell us what you got over there?
Okay, so you want me to go with mine first?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Since you've got props and everything.
I feel like my favorite my favorite console launch is the Dreamcast. So here's this bad boy right here. It's yellowed. It's been sitting around a lot, but it's awesome. This thing has a whole bunch of really cool games for it. If you guys look in my thing here, there's one of them right there. It's a Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast. I'll actually grab it right now. It's right there, right? I might as well.
Yep. That's one of the launch titles right there. A really good one. Man, Dreamcast had an insane, launch catalog, and just in general, Dreamcast is rad.
Sonic Adventure is this is an amazing game. It's funny, when I first got this on Christmas, the disc didn't work. I had to trade it in 2 to 3 times to get one that worked. It kept not working, so GameStop bought Software Etc., which is a store where I got mine from, and I turned it in there twice and it didn't work, and I went to Walmart. They took it, and I got one that worked. But yeah, Sonic Adventure, it was the perfect launch title, and there was more than that, but this had online functionality too. The Dreamcast is just an amazing console. This is the broadband adapter here. If you guys look on my TV there, I have the normal dial-up modem. But yeah, this thing's awesome. If you look at mine's actually modded. It has the SD card that you put in instead of the CD chip there. But yeah, this Dreamcast right here is, I'd say, probably worth about $600. It's had a lot of it's had a lot of modifications done to it. It's heavily modified. It has aftermarket Noctua fans in it. It has like the bells, the whistles, everything done to this that you would want to do. I played Phantasy Star Online with it, which I actually have that game right there, as well. But yeah, beyond that, it had Soul Calibur, NFL 2K, NBA 2K, Ready to Rumble Boxing, which was a fucking pretty fun game. Power Stone, which was a console exclusive and was an awesome 3D like arena fighter. House of the Dead 2, which was a arcade perfect port. Tokyo Extreme Racer, which was a really fun game. Hydro Thunder, which showed up on a lot of other games lately afterwards and was really fun. Pin, try whatever. Tressalon, Blue Stinger, Arrow Wings, Flag to Flag, Monaco Grand Prix, Trick Style, Test Drive 6, WF Attitude, which was the best version of that game, by the way. NFL Blitz 2000, and Virtual Fighter 3TB. Awesome lineup, great games. Just a shit ton of them. Not a lot of exclusives, but it had pretty much you covered on every single basis.
Yep. I mean, it's hard to argue against that. And I literally almost picked Dreamcast, but my choice for me slightly edged it out. Yeah.
Well, what was that?
Well, it was the legendary PlayStation 2, which TJ has there. And
this is a very dirty one. I got it out of a basement. As you see, I haven't even cleaned it. Or no, it was in an attic, and it doesn't work. This is just a prop mainly right here. I do have another PS2 in the room, which as you talk, I'm going to grab and show it to them. I just wanted to show them the base one. And keep on talking, Dave.
I really want to get the, there's like a Midnight Blue that I have seen. And, you know, I got a lot of love for PlayStation 2. I feel like that it was
Ocean Blue. Ocean Blue looks awesome.
Yeah, the Ocean Blue also looks awesome. I kind of feel like PlayStation 2 for me was the last time that I really, really, really cared about a system launch. You know, like obviously when like PlayStation 3 and 4 came out, there's a certain degree of hype that comes into all that stuff, especially when you're a fan of the systems. But PlayStation 2 was the last time that I was just like, had omega levels of hype for something to come out. And then
I'm showing the silver one now. This is a PAL console, by the way. It plays European games, but it's modded, so it plays whatever.
Ooh. Hell yeah. TJ out here. He's got all the fancy toys. I had heard rumors, you know, before we jump into this, that we will be seeing a PlayStation 2 mini. That would be really cool. I don't know how true that is or isn't, but if you're out there, Sony, and you hear this, you know, you got at least 2 that you would sell to me and TJ, you know?
Yeah, and the minis are awesome because you can mod them later and have a whole bunch of games on them. Fun
well,
stuff.
You know, before I jump into my list here, it's funny you were talking to me about my minis because I've got the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and PlayStation, and like I've barely used them. You know, I played them when they first came out, and then I put them in a drawer, and that's where they've sat since then. And it's just come to find out that they're valuable and cool. At some point, I'll bust them back out and start playing them. I mean, one of the cool things about it is, you know, they're HDMI. You know, so you just, you know, they're what upscaled or whatever they've done to make it, you know, look a little better on modern televisions. So that's a cool feature. But anyway, circling back. PlayStation 2 for me, greatest console launch of all time. We're going to go down the list here in no particular order. I played most of the, if not all of these games. We got Armored Core 2, which was kind of like you were in like these big mech robot things. Super fun. The original Armored Core was really fun on PlayStation. And TJ is going to say that he loved this game. I know I did. Dead or Alive 2,
I was playing it
hardcore.
yesterday.
Super fun game. You know, was critically acclaimed at the time and still holds up, as TJ was just telling you. He was playing it yesterday. We had Dynasty Warriors 2. This one might have been a little bit more under the radar for some people,
Awesome
but
game.
a very, very cool game nonetheless. I can honestly say I didn't play these next 2. We had ESPN International Track and Field and ESPN Winter X Games Snowboarding. I might have played the snowboarding game, but I don't know. I was more doing other kinds of gaming, not ESPN gaming. And then you had Eternal Ring, which I am not familiar with, but I don't know. You ever play that one?
Nope.
Evergrace, I also didn't play. Fantavision, I did not play. Gun Griffin Blaze was actually pretty fun. I did play that. My friend Chaz had that. Kind of fun game. It wasn't like the best of all time or anything. And then you had Kessen, which I never played. Madden 2001. from probably like 96 to 2006, I consistently played every Madden that came out. And, 2001 was no exception. That would have been the year that the Buccaneers were either the defending Super Bowl champions, or that would be the year that they won the Super Bowl. Either way, the Buccaneers were awesome in that year of Madden. So, that Madden, was very special to me on account of my Super Bowl Buccaneers. And you had Midnight Club Street Racing.
It was a fun
Awesome
game.
game. Super fun. Not quite as good as the like Need for Speed Underground, which came a little bit later, but still a very cool game. MotoGP was kind of like
Yeah,
a
it was
dirt
fun.
bike game that was cool. NHL 2001, the hockey games were usually pretty fun, but I can't tell you that it was a great game or not. And you had Orphan, Scion of Sorcery. I never played that, but that sounds like a cool game. That might be one of those ones that when I delve back into PlayStation 2 that I give a try. Cue Ball Billiards Mastered. I actually have played this game. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. My friend Lance, his stepdad Hank had it,
Oh shit.
and he's just cool old stoner dude,
Yeah.
and he just liked pool. And if there was a dart game for PlayStation 2, he'd have bought that kind of shit too. He was always about bar games and shit. Then you had Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2, which was a pretty cool boxing game, obviously. Ridge Racer 5 was awesome. Silent Scope, Smuggler's Run. I'm just going to rapid fire these. Those were cool games.
Awesome game. SSX.
SSX. I don't know why that's so hard to say. Not to be confused with SSX Tricky that I believe came out later, right?
Correct.
Yep. And then one of my favorite Street Fighter for PlayStation 2 is Street Fighter EX3. Super fun game. Summoner, also a really cool game. Swing Away Golf, Tekken Tag Tournament. That was kind of when they refined Tekken into more of like the modern Tekken that we know today. Man, that was an awesome game. Time Splitters was cool.
Yeah, Time
Unreal
Splitters were fun.
Tournament. Yeah, played the shit out of that. Unreal Tournament, played a lot of that. Wild Wild Racing and X Squad.
Never played those last
What a
two.
lineup.
But yeah, they had something for everybody.
Yep. I mean, if you bought either one of these systems on launch day, you weren't going to be disappointed with the games that you had available to you. The only
Yeah.
thing that you were going to be disappointed in is that you couldn't buy all of the ones that you wanted.
I think so. Yeah, overall, like I think we nailed them. The two best launches that you could get out there.
I do find it kind of odd that at this point, Sony had established that Crash was their Mario
Yeah.
at the time. Where is our, PlayStation exclusive, like flagship guy? It's not here, which is uncommon for releases at the time, kinda. You always had your cornerstone guy. Look at TJ's Dreamcast list: Sonic Adventure, Mario 64.
You can see the
These
Noctua
systems.
fan in there right now. You see the
Oh
You
shit!
see the brown and white. I'm
Hell
showing
yeah!
that. Yeah.
TJ's out here with his awesome system. That's it's really smart actually to take these old janky fans out of there that are just as loud, if not louder, than a big old fancy Noctua fan.
Yeah, but I'm glad I got this thing when I did because the chips that they went to mod these with, they don't make anymore. Same with a lot of the GameCube ones, and they have knockoffs. And the knockoffs, they're getting more reliable, but they're not as good as the old ones. And if you want to get the old ones, they're fucking expensive. So I got this before it costs what it costs now, but it was still kind of expensive when I got it at the time. But I mean, all this stuff's just jumping up a lot. But yeah, I think that those are two amazing consoles, and I've been playing my PS2 a lot, and I can't wait for my upscaler to come. I'm gonna try both consoles on it, and it's gonna be fucking amazing. And we're gonna do the unboxing on here. It's not gonna be anything too crazy, but I'll just go over the specs and what we're gonna do with it and all that other fun stuff. But it's gonna be great.
People like unboxings, and they feel like they get to be part of an experience, like, oh, cool, you're seeing it for the first time at the same time. You just, random stuff. I don't know. It's neat. I'm a dork.
All right, well, why don't you jump us into we were going to talk about our weirdest gaming stories, if that's something that you
Well,
want to talk about.
believe it or not, I was struggling to fill this in, and then right before the show started, it came to me. And so this is our weirdest gaming stories, right? So I'm sitting here racking my brain. I'm like, man, I don't really have a weird gaming story. And then like I'm really like searching through the recesses of my mind. Like there's got to be something. You've been gaming for fucking you're 43, you've basically been gaming for 40 years. Like something weird has happened in 40 years. And immediately the first thing that I thought of was for people that are familiar with World of Warcraft, which we've talked about quite a bit in the past, there is a place called the Deep Run Tram, which is a little underground
the other day.
train that you can take from Stormwind to Ironforge. That's right, we were in it a bunch the other day. Traditionally in the tram, you zone in and then you run onto the train, and the train takes you from Stormwind to Ironforge or vice versa. Well, the game was still relatively new, and everything wasn't figured out. There weren't all these millions of websites to tell you where everything is. It was a big, new, expansive world for you to explore on your own. So I was like, I always ride this train, and there's all this shit that you see that you fly by and you don't really get to take it in. It's kind of like you're there and you're gone. So I was like, I'm going to run through the tram, one end to the other, which, by the way, takes longer than you would think. And I got what I estimate to be about halfway through. I'd been running for quite a while, and I start seeing my chat log populate with emotes. And I'm like, that's weird. There's should be nothing down here to be emoting. And then I start reading the emotes, and it's sexual stuff. And it turns out that I have happened upon two people that were cybering each other with emotes. Like, how you can type like /E and make custom emotes. And I mean, this was like some vile, like, not necessarily vile, but hyper sexual stuff. And they were mortified that somebody had stumbled upon them while they were doing this. And I was like, yo, I wasn't here. And I just kept right on going. I didn't want an explanation. I didn't want to talk to the people. I was doing my own thing, exploring. So that was my weirdest gaming story. What do you think of that before you jump into yours? And you ever experience anything like that on WoW?
I've had them want to do that with me. It's like, no,
Oh,
thank
no.
you.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, no thanks. Just put it kindly. I got better stuff to do than that. But yeah, it definitely happens. There's plenty of people that have gotten into their relationships from World of Warcraft.
Yep.
But yeah, so we're gonna jump into mine here, and it's funny because it has to do with the Dreamcast here. Not this exact Dreamcast, another one that I got for Christmas that year. But the next day after Christmas, I plugged in my Dreamcast, and I was trying to connect to the internet. And you got to go plug it into your dial-up port into your house where your phone plugs into. So I went and did that, and I was messing around. It did connect to the internet, and somehow it ended up dialing the police. My mom never let me on this thing again after that. But what happened when it dialed the police was the cops pulled up, and Kevin somehow saw them or before they knocked on the door, and he came to we had a pretty heavy entertainment system with the CRT TV on it, and he picked it up with one hand and then threw a bag of something underneath it, which was most likely marijuana. And they came in, checked the house. Mom told them what happened before they walked in. They didn't believe her. They saw the phone line running from the Dreamcast to the phone plug in the wall, and they left. But I looked at this up, and apparently it happened to a couple other people as well that Christmas. And that's just pretty ridiculous, You never expect to have it may have even been on Christmas Day. I could be wrong here. It could have been Christmas Day. But
Way to go, Sega.
Yeah, I know, but it's just pretty funny, the kid's Sega Dreamcast. It's a new hit console that came out, and it dialed us. They put that in their report. It's funny, but yeah, the Dreamcast was the first console that came with online built in. It was free. They eventually charged for it, but Yeah, it was free, and you could get all these DLC. They actually had Sonic, like on Sonic Adventure here, they had DLC for Christmas and Easter and Valentine, a whole bunch of stuff. So New Year's, they had a launch DLC that you could get. It would change. Station Square was a city in the game, and it would change all the stuff that you could do and all that. But yeah, that was my funny gaming story that I thought we'd share here. Is good old Christmas Dreamcast cop story.
Yeah.
That one's always a fun one at the family get-togethers.
Well, not to be stereotypical of the usual YouTube guys, but hell, what are your guys' weirdest gaming stories? Why don't you let us know in the comments,
Yeah.
and we'll let you know how weird that we think that is or is not. Yeah.
And like and subscribe, brothers. But
Yeah,
but
that too.
but anyways, dudes, we thought it'd be cool to talk about our favorite Dragon Ball transformations, right?
It would be, and it will be. And well, why don't you tell me what yours is?
Super Saiyan 3. Why wouldn't it be?
Hell yeah. Well, that's a really good one, and there's a lot of cool examples of it.
Yeah, there is. I don't have a Super Saiyan 3 one yet. I will in the future. At some point. Not yet. I have ones that I've ordered. So to hit you with the spoiler a little bit, some of the figures that I ordered are Dragon Balls.
Oh, that's right. You
Yeah.
you weren't gonna tell me. You were just gonna save it for the show. Hell yeah.
But none
Well,
of them.
spoiler alert.
But none of them are Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I wish they were. That one's very expensive. But yeah, you'll definitely like these things. They're amazing. But
Hell yeah.
Super Saiyan 3. I think it's cool because even though that there's more powerful transformations, Super Saiyan 3 is still looked at as some kind of mystique transformation because of it's so powerful, but it drains you so quick, and they don't use it very much because of that reason. And some people think that if they found a way to master the Super Saiyan 3 transformation, that it would be super useful. But I just think the look's awesome. I think when he did it, it was awesome. And it was kind of like Vegeta never did it for the longest time, So it was like Goku was the only guy that did it beyond some fusion.
Yeah. Awesome. That's a really good choice.
What about yours?
Well, I had to think about it because it was like, do I want to just go with a specific transformation or like, just a generalized, kind of like what yours was. And then I thought about it, and I wanted to go with a very specific one, and it's when Gogeta in the Broly movie does the Super Saiyan Blue transformation. In general, the transformations in that movie are fucking badass because they did such a great job on the animation. But when he powers up in that movie, it's awesome.
It is.
They did such a good job.
I love
So
that
to
movie.
me, that's one of my favorite transformations.
I think that's
Not one of it's the.
I think that's awesome. Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta is awesome. Super Saiyan Blue Vegito in the Trunks arc is really cool too.
Yeah.
In general, the fusions of Gogeta and Vegeta are just fucking amazing, and Blue is amazing in itself. So why wouldn't you like those transformations?
It just the movie had a bigger budget, and they did such a better job with at that point in Super when they did that arc, the animation hadn't scaled up to the Tournament of Power level yet.
Yep.
So it was like, that Broly movie just oof. If you guys haven't watched that, you should. It's on Hulu. They got basically all the Dragon Ball stuff, or if you got Crunchy, that it's on there too, of course, in better quality with no commercials. But if you got Hulu, no excuse.
Exactly. I've been watching on Crunchyroll, but yeah, Hulu's definitely got it too.
Yeah.
But
I've been watching it on Hulu just because it's on the TV, and
Yeah.
I don't have multiple monitors like you.
Crunchyroll's on
So
TV.
they
have an app.
at some point I'll have to get that on there.
Yeah, no, they definitely do have an app. But
Hell yeah.
I think we can go ahead and move on to the next one. We can
Oh boy.
jump into this. We won't have to do a deep dive because it's not worth it, and we don't want to bring this douchebag up. But I think we're going to because I think it's funny, and maybe this guy could have gotten the mark of the fucking week or whatever we called that thing. But yeah, so I'm sure people have seen this, but you thought this was funny. I remember saying
Mark
it
of the
to you.
century.
Yeah, but anyways, Dave Meltzer says that Trick Williams isn't that good, but he has incredible charisma. What do you think?
You would think that a guy that has been covering wrestling, A, longer than what we've been watching it, and B, longer than we've been alive, would like actually know what the fuck he's talking about instead of just like saying dumb shit like an ape. Like,
What'd he say?
I feel like at this point he just doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Well, he said what you had said, but then he was like, "Oh, granted, he did look really good against Dragunov, but he's one of those people that gives you a false perception of ability because of the other person. It's like wrestling Ric Flair or tag team wrestling the Young Bucks. You're always going to look better." It's like, what? He's like, I don't know what he's trying to do here. I don't, other than that, he's just being a homer for AEW. And it's like, listen,
He sees a
AEW is
star.
great.
He sees a star and he's like, what the hell? He's going to be a big
I mean,
deal.
he already feels like a big deal. I don't know.
Yeah, he's going to be a big deal, man.
Yep, I agree.
This guy puts his foot in his mouth on an almost daily basis. Trick Williams is awesome. We haven't seen. How does he know he's not that good? He hasn't even seen everything that he's capable of.
Exactly, and I think this is going to be one of those things that when people see how good that Trick Williams is, they're going to probably stop calling Triple H Triple K.
Yeah, it's an exciting time, if I can understand if black people feel like they're not included and they want more people to feel included and to get behind on the show, that's their race, I'm not black. I can't share that experience with you. So if that's what you feel like you want on the show, who am I to tell you you're wrong? So we're gonna get all these black guys on here, and there's a lot of talented one coming up, and I'm excited for you guys that have been wanting that on the show because you're about to get exactly what you asked for. So, that's awesome. And, it's not even about black to me. This guy is a very talented, up-and-coming young wrestler. And we have a lot of them, like, Javon Evans. And I'm really looking forward to it because, again, these guys are different. They're talented. And we're about to see a very good time in African-American wrestling. It should be good.
Yep. You know how we've been in the era of insane women's wrestling. We're about to enter. Trick Williams, Obafemi, Powerhouse Hobbs. Fucking Ron Killings to a lesser extent. The New Day. I mean,
we got all the women too that are coming up. It's
Bianca, Jade. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it is. I absolutely agree. And Dave Meltzer's a fucking moron. And, we don't want to put too much.
Well, that's not news.
We're not saying it is. That's just how
that's
just how I'm wrapping this up. He's a moron. And, we just wanted to highlight this because we're gonna jump back to this at the end of this year, and we're gonna see how well this holds up. This comment.
Yep.
But
he's gonna get dumbass of the year.
Why don't you take us on to something cool, Dave?
Well, I had gotten a guitar recently, nice Epiphone Les Paul custom, and I was very hyped about it. And we filmed a little unboxing. Me and TJ have been talking about unboxing. So sometimes when we get some things that maybe are cool and interesting, we're gonna unbox them on the channel. So we're gonna throw it to us in the past, and we're gonna show you that unboxing, and then we'll come back from that.
All right. Well, you throwing it to yourself specifically, right, Dave?
Yeah. We're going to throw it to past Dave here and see what's going on. Well, thanks, future me. That was a stellar little lead in there. I appreciate you.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about this craziness that we're about to dig into here there, TJ? It's kind of new territory for us.
I'm excited about it. I remember you talked about wanting to do maybe not necessarily your traditional unboxing, but maybe showing offing. I think might be a better term for what we're doing here, but it's about it's about a mix because there will be an unboxing, but we're not going to beat your head over with oh, this package was in there and we had this little piece of foam in the box.
Right. It's going to be a little bit more concise than what your usual unboxings are. This isn't a sponsored thing. This is just
Check
I
us
got a
out.
guitar, wanted to show it off to everybody, and people like unboxings, so here we are.
Well, Dave, why don't you jump right into this? We're going to toss it to you, and I'll be talking, and you're just going to show us what's going on here.
Alrighty, here we go. We're gonna get started. We got a box. As everybody can see, it's a big old guitar-sized box.
It's got a little grease on the bottom of it, like somebody's eating their sub on it.
Yeah, maybe they were.
Those
Well, I'm not exactly hyped with the packaging that they put in the box to protect this stuff here. That's something.
Oh, this looks like a cardboard coffin. That is awesome.
Okay. Try to not drop anything here. Toss this box out of the way. Pick up my drink that I just knocked over that thankfully didn't spill. Okay. And we're gonna go from the front of the box here so that I can take this off and show it to everybody, and you'll see it, then I'll see it, and we'll all have a great time.
Awesome. By the way, everybody gets to see the extra WrestleMania 2000 that's on the wall there, and you get to see the Undertaker and the glow-in-the-dark Larry, and just a little bit more. Dave's starting to get that collection up too. Ooh, nice! Wow, it's a guitar. Looks fancy.
Take this box, toss it over here. I'm sure there's some stuff in there that we might need later. But for now, here we are. They did a good job of packaging this at the manufacturer. I'm not disappointed so far. So we're gonna big beauty reveal here. We're pulling it down. Slow and steady wins the race.
They got a little piece of paper on the front there underneath the strings.
Yeah, to protect the fretboard, which is a nice ebony board.
Yeah, I see that. That's awesome. Got the inlay or whatever. That's what it's called.
The
nice.
Real mother of pearl inlays.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with the beauty shot here.
Be careful, don't scratch it. There you go. Looks nice. It would probably look good if you did it a little bit lower. Just hold it up like straight upside, like the yeah. There you go. Yep, and like up and down, and then put it closer up to the camera, like right in front of it. There you go, and then do that. There you go. Hell yeah, that's the shot right there. You got it. Now show the back too. Why don't we do the back like that?
We're gonna come in this way.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, it's awesome. It look that paint job on that thing looks great, man.
It's pretty heavy. I'm actually stoked. It's
I like
it's
the gold
a
on there.
Full weight. Okay, that came right off. That's not great, but we'll figure that out later. That shouldn't happen though. So yeah, we got a loose knob, but other than that, not bad. I'm really happy with this.
Pretty easy to deal with the knobs. Just screw them on.
Almost in tune. It's almost in tune. Okay, the other strings are not. Let's see. We're gonna do a little bit of quality checking here real fast. Just gonna kind of run my.
Why don't you go ahead and slide back a little bit so we can see a little bit more of you while you do that. We'll be able to hear you still. Just talk loud.
So what I'm doing here is I'm sliding my hands along the edge here to kind of check the fret ends to see if there's any sharp fret ends, that sort of thing, any sprout. Feels really good. Feels really smooth. All the frets, nothing sharp. There's little dark mark on the back of the neck here that I'm noticing. But if that's the worst thing that I discover. The important thing is that, the real stuff's not messed up.
Yeah, functional.
Okay. We got the Grover tuners on here. You know, this is exactly what I was expecting. They really don't make these in white very often.
What year was it
The
made?
reason that this is made in China.
What year, I meant. Do you know?
This is either a 24 or a 25. They
Okay.
had it on clearance. They don't make these white models anymore. They strictly make the black ones now. So I'd wanted a white one for a long time, and this just happened to pop up on Zounds. This is not a sponsored video, but that's where I got it, and it was on sale. So wanted to kind of just. I hadn't had a guitar in a while. I had went through some things, and I had to get rid of my stuff. So this is going to be a nice, good one. It's nice and heavy. Man, the fretwork is really good on this. I'm very impressed. You know, because I always, you know, with a lot of import guitars, there are some things sometimes that are a little less than, but board looks
Seeming pretty
good.
good.
You know, I'm not really noticing anything on here. It needs a nice little clean in. There's some box dust on it and things of that nature. Kind of concerned about that knob just pulled right off of there.
I
You
mean,
see that?
Yeah, can you just put it? I mean, you'd have to step back a little bit to see it for us to see it while you're doing it. But I saw it
This knob
earlier.
here was just pulling right off, but I just pushed it on there now, and it does seem to be good. So I don't
Okay.
know. I might have to do a little bit of fuckering with that just to see. It feels a little wonky, but you know, it's a knob. That's not that big a deal. Everything turns like it's supposed to. Okay, that. I guess these knobs just kind of come off a little easier than they should.
Well, maybe that's so you
What?
can change them.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever had any kind of deals with your Epiphone knobs pulling right off easily like that. Let me know in the comments. But
So
honestly,
we're not going
that's
to hear it
that.
today, right?
No, no. I got to get my interface and all that stuff and get back to.
All right. Well, you're going to have to play something for us once you figure all that out. Do it on the podcast live.
I'm a pretty shitty guitar player, so
cares,
don't
man?
expect anything. But
I'm pretty shitty at a whole bunch of stuff that we probably do on here, and we're still doing it. So. It's nice though.
there's no fret buzz, like going up and down the neck here. I'm not really getting any buzz on any of the notes, so that's good. I'll get those knobs dialed in, and we'll give it a good wipe down. Maybe I'll make a cleaning video and upload it to the channel at some point. But just our little unboxing video. Shout out to Zounds for getting this to me. I ordered it Monday at like 5 o'clock, and here it is. Spoiler
Wednesday.
alert, this is Wednesday at 8:23.
Yep.
And so it got to my house about 11:30 this morning. so-
January 14th.
Yep. Stoked on this. Can't wait to play it and fuck with it. Yeah. That's really it for me. You got anything that you'd like to add on here, TJ, or should we throw it back to future us?
I think it looks good. Hold on, I'm going to take it back to both of us real quick so we can see both of us. But yeah, that's an amazing looking guitar. I like the white. I like the pearl inlay. It looks nice. I like the gold trim that it's got on it, if that's the correct word. And yeah, overall I'm impressed. I like it, like the little input, that trim piece on that by your hand. That's gold as well. Just a lot of nice accents. I'm a sucker for those kind of colors. You know, we grew up seeing a lot of that kind of scheme, if that's the right word.
Yep.
So I'm happy for you. Congratulations on the solid purchase. And yeah,
Thanks, man.
um,
Looking forward to doing the thing. And shout out to Carter. When you see this video, you will see this because he was big wanting to see the unboxing. So
get close again. Yeah, nice. It looks
One
it
more.
looks awesome, man. Super shiny. But all right,
Oh.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
we're gonna send it on back to future us.
All right. Why don't you send it on back? Let
All
us
right.
know.
This is wherever we're at. This is to you, future TJ and Dave. We'll talk to you guys later. Over and out. All right, and thank you, past me. That was a pretty cool unboxing that we had there, and yeah, like we said, we're gonna be doing a couple of those here soon. Thanks for checking that out. I really appreciate you sharing that with us, Dave. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Thanks for humoring me and going along with what I wanted to do there. And I look forward to when we get to do your unboxing when your cool new stuff comes. It's exciting. I don't know why, but I
Well,
like to see people getting stuff. So maybe other people like to see other people getting stuff too.
well, this one I'm gonna want to use it pretty quickly after I get it, so I'm gonna let you know when we get that because we're gonna record when I get home, and we're gonna do the same thing we did for this because
Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna want to wait. The thing's gonna be awesome. It's
No, yeah, definitely.
but anyways, I'll let you know when that is. Who knows? It could be a week from now. But we're gonna get the fuck on out of here. We had a long one this week. We really appreciate you guys from checking us out. I you know, Dave hadn't been feeling too hot, and we work a lot, and this world's kind of tough out there. So if you guys are feeling tough, don't be pressured or burdened by your responsibilities if it's something that you're capable of putting to the side. You can get the stuff done later or figure something out. The world will move on. We get the podcast to you. You get whatever you got to get done later. Everybody's happy in the end. I'm just saying that's the world's a stressful place. Don't burden yourself with shit that isn't necessary. We're gonna die one day. Just enjoy it. Yeah.
Things are hard enough. Don't make stuff harder on yourself. To quote a guy, Mr. Giovanni from Giovanni's Italian Deli, how you doing up in New York? Eat lots and be happy. That guy knows what's going on. And man, shout out to Giovanni's Italian Deli. You need to get on that Instagram. I know I've shown you some of them, TJ. Man, that guy's sandwiches are insane. If I lived in New York, I would weigh 500 pounds. There's too much good food going on.
Oh yeah, same here. It would be too much. But yeah, I appreciate you, Dave. I appreciate anybody for checking us out. We've been enjoying doing the content for you guys. Since we came back from the break, we just really want to just stress how even if you've watched for just a little bit, we appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks everybody. Appreciate all the Overmaniacs out there.
Like and sub.
And yep, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us we suck. Tell us we don't suck. Give us something. We'll see you guys next time. Before we do that, thanks TJ.
No problem.
Really good job this episode. I had fun, and
yeah.
I'll see you next time. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Screw all this wrestling crap. I just want to get a little slice of my gabagool.
Well,
wow, yeah.
Thanks
Let's
for
get
finally
back to that
showing up at the.
gabagool.
Oh, he's got her with him. Thanks for showing up at the end, Tony, for all your fucking help during the whole. Oh, great.
Oh wow. Well,
why is this guy still on a landline with us for the podcast? That you know how much work that takes to get him in here, and then he only says like 6 things during the whole.
stuck in the 90s, which is a good place to be stuck, I guess.
I'm gonna say whatever I want. It's called freedom of speech.
All this from a slice of gabagool.
Oh no! What's he doing back?
Oh, he came back just to hang up on us again. What a jerk!
Let's take
Man.
the hint, man. We're gonna get on out of here. I'll talk to you in a little bit, Dave. Thanks for watching, guys.
Oh yeah. Later, everybody.